Now, this is called The Blood Lord by Ben Paris. Now, Ben's mentors were Annie oh, geez, yeah, now I'm going to screw this. So, Torsiglieri, okay, and me. So the play was directed by Brian Harwell, and the performers include Brett Callow, Gabrielle Corte, and John Zembrowski. So, hey, Brian, take it away.
The Blood Lord by Benjamin J. Paris lights up on Augustine, sitting on a stone bench. Anya is keeping a lookout. They are both inside of a long hallway with Gothic statues lining up the walls.
We are not making any progress, Augustine. The vampire's instructions are too cryptic to comprehend.
Care to explain? We're making progress.
We have been surveying this floor since midday. The sun has almost set.
What is our next move? This hunt for the vampire Pavel has been going on far too long.
We can scout this floor of the castle one more time. We have to find Pavel.
What is the point? We're going to die if he catches us.
Augustine, when we find Pavel and kill him, the vampire bloodlord, the land will forever be free of his darkness.
How do you know that the wooden stakes and silver swords will destroy him?
The silver will stop him from regeneration, and the wooden stake to his heart will end his cursed life.
This is a twisted hunt. We have to cleanse him with silver blades or a wooden stake.
We are not the hunters. We are being hunted by the vampire. According to the order, we are in a constant state of flux between being hunted and being a hunter. The order's beliefs detail that we are aware of our station on Earth as God's beings, as a servant of a radiant light.
What is your plan, Anya?
Find the vampire and kill him.
Noted.
You're giving me that look again.
The look?
The look we frequently exchange when we're working.
Am I not allowed to look at you?
You're allowed to look at me, but not in that manner.
Anya,
A loud noise echoes out.
What was that?
only the wind.
You can never be certain that the wind isn't the arrival of the vampire. He takes many forms, human and vampiric. If what the books say about vampires is true, then he is unlikely to be in his vampiric form, since there is no blood moon tonight.
Vampires can speak to the faithful of God, but those who lack faith in God cannot hear him.
Well, Pavel was deceived by a vampire. That's why he was so easily turned.
We are in the territory of the bloodsucker. We have to be certain. Even a scratch of his razor-sharp claws could infect us with his ruinous curse.
I am curious about the intentions of Pavel.
What are his instructions or his intentions?
Well, take the letter and read for yourself.
He says that in order to find him, we have to leave the building you never entered.
Where is a place that you have never entered?
The place where you were born.
Where was Pavel born?
He wasn't born, he was turned into a vampire.
It was in this castle that he was turned into a vampire.
Remember, our order abandoned him in this castle because of his vampiric curse. We created Pavel.
Well, read the letter further. Are there any more clues?
We are all bound by blood. Augustine the Hunter and I, the Bloodlord, are connected. By my bloodletting, I see you. The power of blood gives me clairvoyance and scrying. Everywhere you go, I am watching you.
Anya and the audience hear a loud screech that Augustine does not hear. Anya draws her sword.
That terrible noise.
Are you certain there was a noise? It could be your mind playing tricks on you, paranoia.
The disembodied voice of Pavel speaks. Augustine and Anya do not hear his voice.
Time is running out. The bottom of the hourglass is nearly full.
Connected as all beings of ruination are, in perfect harmony, the hunted and the hunter are. A cycle with no end. Are you a hunter or the hunted?
The cycle with no end, the hunter and the hunted. He's referring to the order's dogma and beliefs.
Become the bane you swore to never become.
He seeks to turn us with his curse.
Your final hour is nearly upon you.
Deliver us.
Pavel enters. He lurks over them like a stalker.
Greetings. Are you both lost? Scared?
Not yet, Grumpy.
Trapped? I could guide you home so long as you request.
The only request I have for you, Blood Lord, is to feel the silver that I carry.
Well, we can see how far you can go with killing me, but allow me to extrapolate why we're here.
Is the explanation necessary?
Fortunately, we are finally able to speak. I could kill you now, and you'll never know why I brought you both here.
Speak.
Do not deceive.
Long ago, I too was a vampire hunter. I sought out the damned and ruined. Then I met the love of my previously mortal life, Irina. She too was a vampire hunter. Our affair was brilliant, unsolicited, and dangerous. The other hunters discovered our affair. Beaten and tortured, I was left for dead, and they burned Irina at the cross. The rest of my story, well, you know that. I want you to know that there is power in passion and love, Augustine. Revoke the chains that hold you back.
Power? What is your price?
Fool! He will give you the vampiric curse in exchange for his power.
Everything has a price.
I would pay anything you ask.
Focus on the present, Augustine. Together we are powerful against the deceit of the vampire.
Prove your strength to me.
Augustine and Pavel draw their swords.
It's your end.
Augustine lunges towards Pavel with his sword. Augustine and Pavel fight. Pavel is able to outwit and outmaneuver Augustine with unnatural agility and reflexes. Pavel scratches Augustine. Augustine trips and Pavel stands over him.
In the name of God.
Anya throws a stake into his heart.
That's the end of it.
Scratched me, Anya. In the fight, I am
Oh, we have to leave. But our work is not finished. You're cursed, and I cannot leave if there are no vampires.
Pavel is dead.
Lord, have mercy and save us.
What are we supposed to do?
I'm sorry. There's nothing that I can do for you. There are too many risks.
Be clear.
I love you.
I can't leave now. I will become the bane that I swore to never become. The castle is the building I will leave without entering.
You will not become a vampire. Trust me.
Anya takes out her wooden stake.
There is no God. If there was, why would he create such horrific beings? Why is he idle while the world he created burns? I don't understand why the Order hunts monsters. Those monsters are merely trying to survive in a cruel world that he created. We have no power on Earth. We are hunted by the monsters, and yet we hunt the monsters. Do we have any control over our fate, Anya?
Augustine is about to bite Anya on the neck. Anya raises a wooden stake, about to strike him. Lights out. End of play.
And now a brief Q&A with our playwright, Ben Paris.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Bernard, and I was the teacher for the ensemble playwriting class. Clark taught the Dos Pueblos class, and a couple of our plays this afternoon are from the Saturday class. So, Ben, great job. I have to say, at the end of our class, everybody turned in a rough draft, and then you worked on it with the mentors. And the last time I read your play, there were no vampires. It was a play about, it was a sort of medieval era town, sort of very similar setting, but it was about a man who returned because he was a doctor, and he had the cure for a disease that was ravaging the countryside. Why did you change it?
Well, I got really inspired by recent events with the COVID virus, and I decided to not write something that's about COVID or plagues and stuff because of the times.
Right.
Having recently read myths about the vampires and various esoteric forms of magic, I decided to write a play about magic and vampires.
Great. And I remember that having discussions with you about the whole disease, and I didn't mean it to be about this. Both of the plays were set in sort of medieval settings and had what I would say formalized language, kind of older feeling ways of talking. What attracted you to write that kind of a style?
I really like history, and I'm a very history buff person. I just like that kind of style of writing. It's more appealing to me than more modern conventions of writing and talk.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'd say both of the plays also dealt with questions of power and also the question of life and death and who is responsible. And that last, also kudos to having our only Zoom sword fight. Well done, well directed, that was fantastic. But just this idea of like, how can God let this happen? How can this be allowed? We're similar in both plays, and I wonder if you, as a last question, can just say what attracts you to that kind of a struggle, that question.
A few years ago, I was talking to my friend on a video call, and he said that, why do we have monsters? Why is there a God if we have monsters? And I said, I don't know, I can't answer that. I didn't create a world. And that question lingers in my mind. Why do we have evil if there is a God? I'm not going to start theological debate here. So,
that's good.
Why is there monsters?
Great. Well, that's great. I really appreciate it. It's asking big questions in a forum with monsters, and really fantastic job. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the class. Great work.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to our